Hi everyone, this is your instructor Stacy. I am here to provide an overview for you for EDUC 2331, so the IEP course, right? And I can't believe we are into module 3 already. So by the end of this module, we will have completed 3 weeks of the course together. So um, wow, things go fast, literally like at light speed in this sort of 8-week course. Couple things before I go into the course and talk about module 3. If you want to see if you want to see discussion boards after a module ends, instead of going in through the content, you'll need to go click on the discussions tab and go directly in where it lists all the discussions that are available to you. After a module closes, you won't be able to add to the discussion. So if you didn't get a chance to post or whatever and you need to share drafts, you'll need to email them to me. But you will be able to go and see and view the discussion boards. You just can't add to them. And then some of you have asked me, how do I see my grades? Well, you click on grades for discussion boards or assignments later in the course. And if you have, if it's an assignment that you've completed, so I'm not doing any of the assignments in this class, but if I was, discussion board one would have a hyperlink under it. And once it's been graded, and then over here, I'd have my points. And if I click on it, I could see the instructor comments. I'll be giving all your feedback, remember, within the discussion board so that we can all see what one another is getting and learn and grow together. But I oftentimes will add just a few words of encouragement, or if you missed something or didn't submit, I'll say, hey, this is what you need to do, things like that, okay? Okay, let's go into content. Module 3. Okay, it's very methodical, right? As far as we're building pieces of the IEP and refining as we go. So we're going to continue to add to that in Module 3, Week 3. So we're going to trace a step-by-step IEP development process. We're going to identify appropriate team members and their roles, and then understand the timeline requirements of procedural safeguards, okay? So once again, this is Chapter 2 in our course text. And what we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be building on your understanding of IEP components from week 2. Now you'll map the complete journey of how IEPs are developed, who participates, and when each step must occur to ensure legal compliance and meaningful outcomes. Now, when you actually get into a school and you're doing IEPs, I think I've talked with you about this before, there will be a special education director, and I did that job at one time, that kind of oversees all the kind of like an attorney or a lawyer for the school that works on special education things, because there's a lot of legal things that go on, and it's not, as you probably already know, is not black and white. There's a lot of gray area and a lot of interpretation. There also likely will be a special education coordinator or someone with a similar title like that will go around and help, especially new staff, with IEP writing and training and things like that. So remember, when you leave this course, you want to have a foundation, but you're not going to know it all. And honestly, it's always changing and evolving, the IEP processes and what technology platforms you use and things. So just have that, that growth mindset and you'll be fine. Okay, so what are we going to do this week? We're going to create a step-by-step flow chart. We're going to, within that, write a detailed narrative explanation of each step and stakeholder role. We're going to identify appropriate IEP team members and justify their inclusion for your student. And then we're going to apply timeline requirements and procedural safeguards. Okay? Same discussion board process that we've been doing now. We're in the 3rd module, so we're getting into a little bit of a groove, I think. Here is my example of an IEP development process that I did for my student Tyler. Use it as a guide to develop something similar for your case study student. You can make it as fancy as this or as simple as you like, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I have something here that then you can use to create for your student. So what will we be doing for discussion boards? Okay, Monday, September 8th. You're going to post a reflection from week 2 to set the stage for this week's learning. So most everyone did that last time, just that same sort of check-in and grounding. It's really good information for me. I might not say anything back, but it's good for me as an instructor. It's some feedback for me to see where everyone is at with things. Then by Wednesday, September 10th, I want you to share your Section 3 work for peer review and feedback. Your Section 3 work is this right here, and here is your example if you click on this. And then by Friday, September 12th, provide feedback to at least 2 peers. And you're doing a great job with that. I don't think there's really any need to use the rubrics. You're doing a great job being very practical and asking questions, sharing resources, encouragement. I think you're also learning from one another based on some of the feedback I'm seeing you write. And then officially the discussion closes on Monday, the 15th at noon. Really, really try to get things up earlier in the week though, because then you can maximize peer interaction. I noticed some of you in the class, I'm recording this video on Sunday evening and you haven't posted at all for this week. And I went in because I'm going to be very busy Monday and Tuesday, and I wanted to give you feedback. So those of you that hadn't posted, I did give you a 0, but I said, hey, if when you do get this done, email it to me. And I can give you feedback and things. You can still get credit, but I mean, you missed out on the peer interaction, right? And also your peers missed out on getting some feedback. So ultimately, and I shouldn't say ultimately, ideally, I don't want that to happen every week. I know that things are happening and if there's a week or two here or there, but really try to get in this groove now that we're into the 3rd week of this course and organize yourself so you've got a checklist or some things that you know for this course, what you're going to be doing each day of the week. And it's just building on, it's just continuing to build. So you're going to be taking your case study student. You shouldn't have to, ground yourself or figure out who is a student now. You've been working with them for a couple of weeks. So things should get easier and easier as far as this goes too. Okay. And so this is just kind of reiterating what I set up above. If you need more information, you could look here. Honestly, if you just focus on here is what I need to do for the readings. Stacy's already told me what we're talking about. I don't need to hear about it again. Here's an example. Here's where I post it, and here are the deadlines. Okay, the due dates, and you're going to be fine. You'll be fine. I think that does it. Oh, on Thursday, September 11th, I will be holding office hours from 3:30 to 4:30. I will share the Zoom link as we get closer. And so if you have questions about anything in this course, or if you're taking other courses with me, that would be the time to show up. And I will record it again and share the recording for those of you that can't make it. I know it's sometimes it's good to be able just to see what other people are asking about, and you can always pick up some nuggets from that. So that does it. Have a great week and continue to let me know how I can support your success.